Traveling can be difficult, but traveling for business can just be plain overwhelming. Today, I want to talk to you about traveling in Santiago, Chile. So, regardless of where you're traveling, you want to make sure that you develop a scheduled itinerary if you are traveling on business. The first thing that you want to do is you want to get the scheduled itinerary. You want to make sure that you get all necessary documentation, passports, visas, confirmation for your hotel, the airline's confirmation, if you have a rental car, that confirmation, maps to the areas that you're going, funds, expense forms, any formed speeches that you pre-planned speeches you might have, and health documentation is also important to have. And you want to put all of this into a travel folder. Once you have that travel folder, just make sure that you keep it on your carry-on, because that important information should stay with you at all times. You also want to make sure that you completely understand the travel arrangements before going to the foreign country, in my case, Chile. You want to make sure that you know the commercial airline that you will be flying in, or if you're taking a train, then the train. You want to make sure that you know your modes of transportation to and from the hotel you would be staying at. You want to make sure that you understand what hotel you're staying at, who is paying for everything, and how to get reimbursed if you're initially paying. Um, in terms of traveling abroad, you want to remain conscientious and respectful of other people's customs. Even though it might be strange for something to happen in the US, you want to understand that and not be ethnocentric to the other culture. Um, so today I'm going to talk to you about Chile. The time difference in Chile, it's 9 p.m. there and it's 6 p.m. here. So there's a 3 hour time difference within Chile and Fort Worth, Texas. Um, Chile has Chilean pesos, and one US dollar equals 764.3 Chilean pesos. Now, Chile does not universally accept the US dollar, so as a business person, you want to make sure that you get Chilean pesos before doing any business in Chile. In terms of modes of transportation, um, they are a developed country, so they have buses, they have subway systems in the developed cities like Santiago. They have taxis, they have rental cars, they have trains. Now, in terms of the language barriers, Spanish is what Chile speaks. Um, so it's helpful and beneficial to know Spanish upon entering the country for business. Just keywords or phrases could definitely make business operations much smoother. However, many mid level managers do know at least some English when you enter Chile. It is somewhat difficult to get a work visa in Chile. You cannot use a tourist visa as a work visa. You do have to apply for a work visa. It's illegal to use a tourist visa. You also need to make sure that you have a passport. Um, and you want to understand that the Chile business does operate a little bit differently than U.S. business does. There are cultural differences. For example, a lot of Chileans, to show status, will be a little bit late, even if they have nothing to do, just to show that they're important. Another example is that they're very into formal hierarchy and insider positions. So it's hard to get your foot in the door if you're an outsider in business, because they value those inside relationships. They have a tendency, because they work so many hours, they have a tendency to overpromise and underdeliver. They might say that they're going to do something and not do it right away, and they don't formally respond to all emails, only if they have a decisive answer. They do accept the handshake as a universal greeting. However, they also, when you get closer with them, they might kiss you, or even if you're very close business partners, embrace you. The Chileans do have their father and mother's last names. So when you're looking at like their business cards, you'll see two last names. You also want to really make sure that you key into the position and the title of Chileans on their business cards, because they are very conscious of their title, and this they prioritize that, and it means a lot to them. Um, when going to Chile, it is important to remain conscious and safe and understand the practices of Chile or any other business environment um, internationally. Traveling abroad can be a very overwhelming thing, but with careful planning and respect to the other culture, it should be successful. Thank you.